Hi Pisces, this is your tarot reading for the month of February for all Pisces signs. Now, before I get into the tarot or oracle, because I never know what's going to turn up until I turn around, I'm getting a lot of emphasis on the community, on your larger groups, your friends, your memberships, your ambitions, your goals, your dreams, but really, truly on your self-realization and your communication. Communication is going to be everything. The details, like the devil's in the details, is what I'm getting. A lot of root chakra, which is root chakra, sacral chakra, and solar plexus. And then that communication, overcoming some grief, sorrow, shame, blame, self-deceptions, self-sacrifices, Mars energy, which goes with the sacral chakra, fire, passion, action, aggression. But like I said, I'm getting details over and over again. The devil's in the details of the communication. There's definitely karmic lessons being done here and frustration that you're overcoming. This has to do with your inner emotional security, your integrity, liberation, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, healing. Retaking possession of self, claiming your power, your worth, your confidence, your value. And then really claiming your own inner emotional security. So this really feels like it's a very powerful, healing, wonderful energy, but where it's going to feel problematic is the facing yourself on your own self-deceptions. Because you've got some 12th house issues going on. With independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, inventive, creative selves. Where you've allowed self-judgment to push you in the wrong directions with your own messaging system. Whether it's the way you're communicating outwardly or the way you're communicating with yourself, which has caused frustration. And you're being told to trust your spiritual urges, your intuition, your ethics, your morals. Put your foot down. Listen to your heart. Allow the soul. It's your responsibility to listen to your soul, is what I was getting. But you've got to get past some of your unconscious mind in order to do that. That's going to have a lot to do with self-judgment. And service to self. Is there anything else? Let me check something here in my notes. This happens to be the way. It's weird. A lot of the way that they do their communication with me is through my hand. Yeah. Being detail-oriented, picking it apart, versus listening to the higher self. This is where I get when I'm doing my work a lot, where I get that Leo energy, and you're reminded the Leo energy would be the royalty of the zodiac. So that comes into being responsible for the kingdom. I explain it this way often. You're the king of your kingdom. And if you don't like it, then maybe it's time for you to start being a more responsible king or queen with the choices and the decisions of your ruling. The Spirit said for some of you, for your social foundation and those larger groups, you've got to become you're ruling as a king or queen of the kingdom that you choose to lead. The reincarnation all depends on that social foundation and it being healthy. But you have to come into the self-realization of where some of that's lacking. But you're holding on to some negative, lower vibrations of burdens, overwhelmed, grief, blame, shame, which is imposed on the judgments that you've made, or you're ruling as a king or queen. Is what I'm getting. Some of this has to do with sexual frustration, rules, walls, and boundaries within these. Letting things happen that slide. I feel like stop letting shit slide. Because by letting shit slide, you're ruling that that's acceptable and you're putting out there that that's acceptable when really, truly, deep down, you don't feel that it is. And that will also raise some of the weight off of the heart, is what I'm getting. So that? Or at least for now, that is. Okay, Pisces. This is black and white tarot. I try to at least tell you who and what I'm using. For Pisces energy, the first thing out is that bottom card. But let's see what else is coming out. For the platform for Pisces, I'm getting a lot of the humanitarian, like I said, like you're letting shit slide to make it easy so it's not confrontational, but it's really going against some of your true self-realization, some of your morals, your goals, your truths, and you have to allow that to come out. If you want to get liberated, is what I just heard. All right, the first things that are coming out. Very first thing that was coming out was Princess of Cups. She's very comfortable with her ever-changing emotional truths. And I feel like this is what you need to be at. And for some of you, this is in a professional area, too. The next thing out is the Queen of Swords. And then you have the Eight of Wands. Now, she's very emotionally comfortable with who and what is shifting and changing. And like I said, for some of you, I was told that's going to be in the professional area. But this is the Queen of Swords that's popping up with this, which is definitely, you know, cleansing, invigorating, inspiring. She can be harsh. She can have a harsh tongue, but she's very true. She also reminds me of Shiva. For whatever reason, I'm getting Shiva right now. So, destruction for construction. Very being comfortable with making the decisions that need to be made. And what I'm getting is her hair right here, for me, is very blue, which is communication from the higher self, telling you that it's, because I see that as communication, you know, coming into her hair, her head. Shiva is destruction for construction, cleansing, invigorating, inspiring, trusting in that energy. And then the Eight of Wands also speaks to us of Induus, because I see Induus in the image itself. And this is your four. Your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, and your physical. And if you're out of balance in any of them, well, then you're out of balance. This is asking you to get right with your balance, to get right with yourself in this area, because it's interweaving the activity, the energy, and the growth that's going to happen because you allow this to take place. You allow these two to come into oneness so that you are in oneness and there's actually growth taking place here. Nope. Okay, we're going to stop. No. You just keep moving on me, so we are going to stop. But there is going to be some disorder that's going to be caused because of this. And it may, especially if it's, you know, in the professional world, the career, or this very social foundation, the self-realization and making these choices and standing firm is going to create some chaos, some conflict, like a tower energy, within disorder, chaos, strife, within some of the situations of what's going to take place. There will be a little bit of a backlash, but I don't feel like it's anything for you to overly be worried about, because what you're getting is the Four of Swords with the Judgment card. So I feel like somebody's not necessarily going to like some of the changes that you're going to make, but they're going to get the fuck over it. Because technically the judgment's going to be in your favor, but you're going to want to sit back and make sure that you're, you know, conflict can be resolved. Basically, this is a truce, taking a moment. You don't want to put yourself on the back burner. You don't want to step away from that power and that growth at all. You want the growth to happen, and there is going to be some shit that's going to fall apart, is what I'm looking at. And for some of you, like I said, some of you that's going to be in the professional area, some of you that's just going to be in some of your larger groups, like your friendships or communities. But ultimately there'll be some cool off time, and it's going to work out, because the judgment is, you know, the resurrection, the renewal, the rebirth, the cleansing of something new starting. It's giving something a new chance, a new birthing, a new opportunity. But the shifting of that change is going to be a little uncomfortable for a little bit of everybody, maybe even including yourself, is what I'm getting. But it's definitely meant to be. But you are not meant to be carrying the burden. And you're carrying the burden of everything all by yourself. This is the Ten of Wands. Sagittarius, Capricorn, Saturn energy, you know, being burdened, overwhelmed, fears are driving you into the ground, and this, you're not meant for this. And if you keep carrying this, it's just going to keep pulling you down. So this is meaning that there's a change that needs to happen. I'm getting again in the professional world, but it's definitely meant to shift those goals and dreams. This is, I feel like that's the only way you're going to stop carrying all these burdens, is to put your foot down and make some of these changes, is really what I'm getting. Which is, you know, a positive thing. It's just so many people don't like change. But You had justice, and now, I mean, you had judgment. Sorry. You had judgment, and now you have justice. So, I mean, this is definitely what's meant to happen. It's definitely going in your favor, but you are going to have to take the steps to put it in that favor, is what I'm getting. What is going on for up close and personal? Some of you, this is an Aquarius move, an Aquarius energy, or there's going to be the problem is going to be with an Aquarius, because I'm hearing Aquarius. And the Aquarius is the waters that pour the higher knowledge down. So this is, you know, the shock and awe, stepping out of your comfort zone, making changes, doing something that's, you know, out of your normal. But it will ultimately be the good situation, or there's an Aquarius who's going to try to undermine you and cut the corners and be the conflict. And one of the two situations is what I'm getting. So it's either stepping into Aquarius energy or knowing Aquarius energy is what's going to try to block you. And this is just you standing in your power and not allowing, you standing with your ethics, your morals, you standing in your power and making the changes have to come through. Up close and personal. What is up close and personal? Well, I don't do love readings, so I always say up close and personal is anything that's important to you. Your friends, your lovers, your spouses, but it could be your children, it could be your family, it could be working environment. Princess of Swords, getting similar energy going on here. Devotion, wisdom, Athena, strategic thinking. She's very not afraid to come out and state what needs to be stated and put her foot down and cut away the bullshit, more or less. And I don't see her necessarily as a woman. I mean, you've got the owl, so the wisdom is behind her. Like I said, she's connected with Athena, the warrior goddess. This could be a person coming into your life with that energy, but I feel like it is what's the energy that is there with this up close and personal relationships. But you also have the Seven of Cups, which is the soul drowning, the soul getting lost, the confusion and the temptation. This is chasing too many things at once, spreading oneself too thin. So this could be, I need to cut away the bullshit. That's the way I see this, is I need to cut away the bullshit. I'm losing myself, like you were getting up here. You're losing yourself. You're being, too many things are being burned down. You're losing yourself in a situation, and you have to cut away the bullshit to find out what really is important to you for these up close and personal relationships. The Tower is here, so there is definitely something coming to an end. Something or someone is leaving. While they're, like I said, I got a lot of working environment, professional career, and larger communities here. So something, somewhere you may be leaving a job. Something is definitely shifting and changing, but this is so you can get closer to your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, your spiritual truths of what it is you truly desire. But by realizing where you're drowning and you're losing yourself and cutting that bullshit free, it seems like you're actually making the Tower happen. And in this case, that would be you stepping up to the plate. It could be warning you of your own human pride. But it definitely brings you liberation and seeing a new view, a new truth, a new way. But you may be dealing with humility along the line. But like I said, it's definitely meant to be. Something somewhere is leaving. Even though this is up close and personal, a lot of this seems to be just community related and or working related. And I just keep getting stop with the self-deception. Stop with the self-deception. Get right with the self-realization. Two of Wands. Desire and beauty. This is what you're after. The desire, the beauty, the hope, the new beginnings, the fresh adventures. I mean, and it's coming up after the Tower. So the Tower is meant to happen. You've got to allow the Tower to happen because it's going to bring you forward into a brand new situation and make things healthy for you. No matter what, in one form or another. There's purity, there's honesty, there's frankness, there's just bold truth that's going to lead you to a brand new healthy beginning. So that's definitely a powerful and a good energy. The curiosity, the growth. This is Aries. It's the Three of Wands. Integrity coming back. So this is definitely a time of growth, a time of, you know, flipping things over. Self-assurance. I feel very good about this. Is there anything, because I feel like most of this, even though maybe the relationships are in those larger groups, the community, maybe they deal with them. Because I feel like they're just combining. But I understand this is going to take some time. This is not going to be fixed overnight. This is the Prince of Pentacles. He's very slow and steady. He sticks firm to the decisions he makes, and he takes his time allowing it to happen. So this is definitely not something that's going to happen overnight. It is something that you're going to be working on, but it's definitely going to take you in the right direction. But you have to have the courage to stay the course. And like I said, I just feel like they're combining, so I'm just staying with it. But what I'm getting mainly is the challenges, the Seven of Swords. You want what you want, and you want it right now, and you're going to question that because you want what you want, and you want it right now. And it's not going to come that quick. It is, you know, you're feeling the self-sabotage still. You're still feeling that self-sabotage. You're still, this is the changes and feeling the power of the changes that you've created and questioning if they're going to be the right ones. Questioning if it's misguided, if it's taking risks. I mean, look, he's carrying swords in his hand. I mean, and he's just dropping them everywhere he's going. He's trying to grab everything he can get and take it and not lose anything. This is, you know, stay the course. Stay the course and don't let the fear of, I want what I want and I want it right now. You're not going to get there that quick. And stay the course because you're not meant to take a lot of this shit with you. You're meant to leave it behind. It's the burdens that are on the back. The Tower was there for a reason. Don't bring the Tower with you. But know what pieces you are meant to bring with you and leave the rest behind. And stop trying to hold on to everything and actually pull yourself right back again. Do not bring yourself right back into self-deception as soon as you got out of it. More or less. I feel like other than that, this is just about taking action, but knowing how to listen to the intuition and not overestimate to where you accidentally step backwards instead of forwards because you're overanalyzing and getting paranoid. Take the time, work the steps, and it's going to be just fine. I love you guys. Bye.